Hey, BookTube, is it true April showers bring forth May flowers? Because if it is, it's time to bloom. It is time to close out the month of April and move into the month of May. And we will do so with this month's monthly check-in. So, I want to thank everybody for being such wonderful supporters of this channel, of me, and being able to come out, view my videos, and to interact. Most importantly, I love that I get so many comments that I do, and to be able to interact with the members of my community. You guys are just fantastic. And so I thank you for your patience. I thank you for continuing to show your support by coming out there and subscribing to the channel. It's been great. It's been great. We're growing and we're interacting. Isn't that wonderful? That's fantastic to me. I've noticed that I really haven't been keeping Goodreads up to date. So this past month of April, I've been working on trying to close out the books that I've read, start providing with updated progress as far as how, my RIP list, my current reading in progress. So as I advance through the book, I will post those. And I'm also going to start uploading my book reviews. With that being said, we've cleared over 100 videos. We're closing in on almost a year. Still got 2 more months. Yeah. 2 months before I actually hit a year. But I've got 100 videos up. That's a milestone, in my opinion, to reach the 100 video milestone. And lots of stuff has been put up, and I try to keep the channel updated, keep it current. And I'm so glad that I just have viewers that actually enjoy my content. So that's great. And amongst my content, one of the best things that we did over the month of April was we had lunch with Logan. We met Logan, Dr. L. Reeds, in person. And I got a chance to just experience each other's company and learn a little bit more about each other. So that was fantastic because I don't normally get out. I don't. And true, we did a book haul. We did, some people might call it a book run, but is 2 stores a book run, or does it have to be 3 stores or more? Is that considered a bookstore run? I don't know. But we ended up going to 2 bookstores. I brought him to 2 bookstores he had not seen or visited before, so that was wonderful. And then we got a chance to sit down and have lunch together. Of course, I ate breakfast. Well, I don't know what time is it? Almost 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock by the time we were done. And I ate breakfast food. I love breakfast food. So I had pancakes and scrambled egg. I had an omelet. Not scrambled eggs, but an omelet. And it was really good. And I got a chance to sit down here and talk a lot more about each other. Some of it was book related. Some of it wasn't. It was great. But you'll see that the tag team book haul, that is a video covering the books that I purchased during that book haul, during that visit, and covering some of the stuff that we talked about. And so you can watch that video if you haven't seen it already. It's already up and posted to the channel. So with that said, with some of the video content that we're putting up, I want to get out of that habit of saying we all the time. I am in the process of collecting the Great Classics for Children's collection. And I'm in a video series called Collection Series. Now the collection series isn't just for the Great Classics. It's going to be collection series, books that belong in a collection. That I'm going to be working towards, for me anyway. At least I think books that should be at least considered a collection anyway. So the first one that we're working on was the great classics for children, right? Now, this is this is by Dalmatian Press. Dalmatian Press went out of business about 10, 15 years ago. They shut down. Now, they have several different print editions of classics for children. And so the one that I'm looking for is this specific layout. And I am short 6 books. Six books. I am short 6 books. This is one of my childhood books. We already talked about it once before. I got my storage out of, all my belongings out of storage. I was unpacking and I found this book, and it was just reminded. And then I opened up the book and found out that there was a long list of about 27 different books that are in this collection with the same print design from a lot of classic stories. And so I've got to the point where I have reached my wit's end on being able to collect all the titles in this book. So I wanted to release those titles, and hopefully you guys, if you come across them, hopefully you'll be willing to let me know where you find them. All right, so here we go. I am missing from this collection The Story of Dr. Dolittle. That's Hugh Lofting. Don't have that one. I'm also missing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which is a part of this one, with Robert Louis Stevenson. I'm missing The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by Washington Irving. I am missing Pinocchio by C. Collodi. I am missing Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farms by Kate Douglas Wiggin. And last but not least, The Time Machine by G.G. Wells. Now, each book is laid out in the same fashion. They got pretty much the same design. Now, the color scheme is slightly going to be different for each book because of the titles. So just don't get them confused. And these are the hardback copies. They have a paperback version of a printout. They also have I think 2 or 3 other releases, and some of those releases have different titles in them. Most of them have the same of them, but I think there's like one of them has a different list or has more, and the layout is different. They're not as elegant as these, in my opinion. But those are the ones that I'm missing. If you guys find these online, if you guys have a local used bookstore that you might find it in, please let me know so I can conclude it in my, get them and add them to my collection. Something else that we're doing for the Great Classics for Children collection is, if you remember, Through the Looking Glass. Once that book comes back, we will submit another video. But I ended up purchasing Through the Looking Glass. I think that was a Lewis Carroll story, and it was damaged. The book was damaged. So I was able to find a book doctor who was, I submitted the book to be repaired. So it's going to take approximately 10 weeks or up to 10 weeks for that book to be repaired and returned. And once it's returned, we'll do a follow-up video, and hopefully I'll have more books added to the collection by then. If not, we'll just go with what we got. But yes, so that's the Great Classics with Great Classics for Children by Dalmatian Press. Dalmatian Press. So if you guys see those, please help me. Please help me. So what else do we do for channel updates? The video list we got quite a few videos out. I think there was 6 or 7 videos for the month of April. We did 4 tag videos, one of which is in 2 parts. So technically there's 5 videos out there. The Learn My Taste tag was done in 2 separate tags because I missed one of the prompts in the original video, and I had lots and lots and lots of problems with recording, with editing, with trying to get it uploaded to YouTube. It was and then when I started reviewing it and looking at it, I realized I missed a question. And so instead of just trying to re-edit and try to, re-record, I just recorded a separate video and uploaded it separately. But the tags look familiar with the thumbnails and everything, so you can't get them mixed up. And I believe there's a continued marker on that too. So if you are interested in that particular tag, to learn my taste tags, there's 2 videos. We did a Where Would You Read It, which is starting to catch a little bit more popularity. I like the Where Would You Read It because I like to be able to identify how people enjoy, because my channel is about reading experience, my personal reading experience, but sharing it with you guys. And so I've been curious recently as to what y'all reading experiences are like. And not just necessarily if you enjoyed the book, recommend the book, but how was the reading experience itself, which is what the channel is about, which is one of the reasons why I'm trying to really work on my book reviews and how they do how I have them formatted. But the Where Would You Read It, and I provide you with 3 different choices. If you guys really like this, then just say so. Put it in the comments. Tell me how much you enjoy it. If you don't, but how many of my BookTube neighbors are immersive readers? Like, do you do you prefer to have your environment stimulate the reading experience by simulating the reading experience, right? And if not, are you abstract? Or just are you a comfy, cozy reader? Like you just got your spot, and it doesn't matter what you're reading, that's where you go to read. So that's what the Where Would You Read It concept was built on. And it's turning some heads, and I'm enjoying the responses for that. So we have that. And then, of course, as I mentioned, the tag team book haul video. So upcoming videos. Some upcoming videos is going to be, I got 2 more collection series that we're going to be working on. One of them is the Thomas Kidd series. Now, this isn't really collector's items. However, the Thomas A. Kidd, there's 26 books in this collection. And this is the story of of Great Britain in seafaring wartime, and one individual it was a regular citizen, was snatched up from Britain and put on a boat to man these boats during wartime, and he ended up becoming a lifelong sailor, and that's what this collection is about. But it's mostly because I originally stumbled across these books because I found 2 of them in the clinic free library. Excuse me. Found them in a clinic free library. Excuse me. But I was so captivated by the cover, by the premise of the story for the first 2 books, and I thought, well, why don't I just go ahead and collect them all? So I looked them up, see how many was in the series. I went to Goodreads and found out that there's plenty of them in a series. And when I saw them, I was like, I just love those covers, and the story is just so interesting. And I thought it would be wonderful to be able to start a collection series. So the collection series video format is just the vlogging of me going out trying to find these books. They're not necessarily out of print, but they are old releases. And so being able to go out and find the book and keep them in a series and have the whole series. That's how the collection series videos started up. So we're doing 2 more. We're going to do one on Thomas A. Kidd series, and we're also going to do one on the Treasured Poems of America series. We're going to start these, hopefully, the Kidd's going to start in May. And perhaps in May, or in June, which would be pretty cool to start in June. I think June is my anniversary. Is the Treasured Poems of America collection. Now, this was I believe in junior high when I had my first poetic piece published. And it was published in the Treasured Poems of America collectors series. And they come in several different volumes. The only problem is I don't remember which volume I was released in. I ended up losing my storage shortly after coming out of the military. And in that storage was my copy of the book. And of course, it wasn't something that I would continuously read. But there are hundreds, tens of hundreds of poems in here from all across the country. So I currently have the fall of 90 and the summer of 93. Now these are also hard to find. They are no longer in print. Sparrowgrass Forum is the sponsor, the publishing house, Sparrowgrass. And so I am looking for the book that I am published in because I would like to once again possess a copy of my first ever publication. Now from that came more, and now I'm going to be doing more self-publication because it's just I'm in that place in my life where I can do that. But each book is based on a seasonal release, and I think it ran for 6 or 7 years. And so with this particular collection series, I am actually going to stop. I don't know if I really want to collect the entire series. These aren't as affordable as these. The average one of these ranges about anywhere. The average is around $50 to $60 a book, regardless of where I find them. Thrift, the average. Some of them are a lot more higher up, but the average is about $60 a book. And so I don't know if it's cost effective or if it's necessary to have the entire collection. I believe that for that particular collection, I'm going to stop once I find the book. And like I said, I can't recall, but I got to go through all the seasons and find that book. So there you have it. So that's part of the upcoming video series, right? So Thomas A. Kidd for Julian Stockwin's collection. Don't need any help with that so far. I think these books are young enough to be found. We'll do the unwrapping once those come in, and we'll separate those in their own collection series, video series. And then, of course, the Treasured Poems of America. Same thing with that. Don't need any help with that. I would like some help with the Great Classics for Children by Dalmatian Press. They are no longer, and you can't reach a hold of them. I try to find like an old representative from Dalmatian Press. Their websites are taken down. You just really can't find them. And a lot of people are mix matching the print releases, so they're not all the same print. I want all the same books. And it's kind of funny because 4 of the books that I have are actually different dimensions, or actually larger cuts of the same book series. So even with the same cutout, they have a different print size. The majority of them are all the same size, but I have 4 of them that are actually larger books. So the hunt is fine. The hunt is fun, but that's a lot, isn't it? So what else? We've also got a major book haul. I don't do a whole lot of book hauls. I think the tag team book haul was my biggest. Logan was right. I am a little bit more conservative with how, but I have these huge shelves. I got these huge shelves now, and I need space. But I have 11 boxes worth of books sitting in the garage right now that we are going to unwrap or unbox and go through there and see what we got. So that's going to be the next, that's going to be the major book haul video coming up. And then, of course, lots and lots of word oddities. I think I have at least 4 word oddity videos, so look forward to those coming forward. And with that, let's move on to the next category, and that is our RIP list, right? Our currently reading. We I got to turn around again. I did not prepare myself for that. I got these two right here. So let's see. Started off with Reading in the Dark by Seamus Dean. We finished this book. This book is historical fiction. It's memoir. And I kind of rated it below 3 stars. Close. 2.9, I think. 2.7, I think. Can't recall. But I did not feel connected to the book, right? So this is basically a young man who was close to his adult conversation and had heard some mysterious things about a long-lost uncle that he doesn't really know a whole lot about. And he's just curious about trying to find out some of those things. They launched this, they described this book as, like a detective story, but he really isn't doing any detecting. He's just waiting for family members to talk more about it. So he's eavesdropping. Yeah. So also the dialogue. So this was a memoir, right? So he's an adult talking about his youth, and the conversation doesn't really match the subject matter. And so therefore I felt really disconnected from that book. Then we did Fun Home by Alison Bechdel. This was a graphic novel. We finished this one. Rated it a little bit more higher. I believe this is a 3.7, I believe. This one here got its rating because of technical evaluation, right? So the imagery, the storyline, and the controversial subject matter kept it low. Actually, did not really keep it low, but it actually gave it more points. Otherwise, I would have reviewed it a lot lower because it just seemed a little bit, not necessarily preachy, but subtly preachy. And so I enjoyed the read, but it's getting its reviews. This is the reader's reaction is a 2 thumbs up. So therefore, 2 thumbs up means that I really didn't really like it, but I liked a lot of the aspects about the book. So that was Fun Home. We did Frictional Characters, which is a cozy read. Once again, excuse me. And this was Elizabeth Spann Craig. A cozy read, very small town. A murder happens, and this was also rated right around a 3. Not very complicated. I don't think there were any word oddities that were derived from this or encountered in this book. Very easy read, very comfortable read, very cozy, small town, focused around a library community. And so that was a decent book. Right around 3 stars on that one there. We also read A Quiet Retreat, a much higher rating. Quiet Retreat. This was a very book. Kirsten Maudlin is going to be one of my new authors. She has a lot of titles out, in excess of 40 titles. This is a standalone story. It is a writer's novel, and it was about writers on a writer's retreat and in the midst of a murder mystery. Very, very entertaining book. Very elevated, but not extremely overeducated dialogue. Very comfortable read. Very, very, very enjoyable. So this was closer to 4.2, 4.3 if I remember correctly. But very good read, and I like this author's style of writing. So that was a very, very good book. And then we also got to Chaos at Lazy Bones Bookshop. Now this one's going to get right around a 3. I'm still in the process of reviewing this one. This is Emmeline Duncan. Emmeline, and almost a cozy read. The murder is, it's almost, this is another, this is a bookshop, not necessarily a library, but this is a book related community, a book related group of individuals. And there's just a lot of side eye in this book. Like, really? So the reading style is very enjoyable, and she has others. I also did find out that this is the first time that this book is actually part of a series. This is actually the first time that I got a series book and actually got the first book in the series incidentally, because this is one of the books I just found that this is a library find. I found it at the library and picked it up, and it just so happened to be the first in a series. And I don't know how big the series is. I did not research this author or the other releases that she's made, but this one here is a fairly easy read, but so easy to the point where I was able to put the book down. So it should have been read within a week's time, week and a half. And it took a little longer than that, and because of the fact that it did not keep me gripped. And like I said, a lot of side eye, a lot of the characters' decisions is like, it's like, really? That's not really how you acted, but oh, really? Some of that. And so right around a 3-star rating for that, because good writing, very descriptive imagery, and the story is just seems underdeveloped to me, but a good read. And so with that, we had some honorable mentions. We're doing double wide. This is Leo Banks. We did a Where Would You Read It for this particular title. Read it a little while back, but I rechecked it out because I did not do this was also a library find. I did not do the book review for this one. So I rechecked it out, went over it again, read it real quick so that I can write the review. And then also, I believe this was also around a 3 as well, rating. And then we also had Many a Twist by Sheila Connolly. This is the same thing. This is a reread because I read it, I put it down, I turned it in, and did not do the review. So I rechecked it out and I had to reread it just to go over. It's one of those books that kind of like, do I remember quickly what it was? I read some Goodread reviews. I'm like, I don't remember that. So I had to go back, got the book again, and we are rereading it solely for the purpose of being able to review it. That's what BookTube has done to me. BookTube has made it so that I try to pay attention. There's going to be a lot less not remembering books moving forward because my reading style has changed a lot. I am paying more attention to what I'm reading, and I'm remembering books more often. So, wow. All right. And that does it for our RIP list. We are going to give some announcements and let you guys know what's going to be the next reading coming up. But that is our RIP list for the month of April. And on to Bookish Texas. Yes, how much we love Bookish Texas. Now, this is going to be slightly different because I have not recently been releasing the entire month. So we will do the major book events for the month of May, right? For the advanced month, because I was talking about the current month and the current week. But I'm going to, in this particular video, announce all of the known upcoming or scheduled upcoming events for the month of May for the state of Texas. But before we do that, what I would like to do is cover where I get some of the information from, because there's a lot more stuff than what I release here for Bookish Texas. And it's kind of funny because now I am self-aware, self-conscious about certain terms now. Content, bookish. There's a couple of things that I normally have been saying that I'm kind of like feeling a little beside myself with. And I realize that sometimes these words are trigger words, and sometimes they also form some type of level of thought or controversy or whatever. But for me, I don't know. So it's hard to get away from Bookish Texas because it's kind of coined, and I like that. But I probably won't be using it as fluently with the rest of my dialogue. So with all the information that I search a lot of places. Now everybody knows that if you're going to a certain area, just type in the city / public library calendar events, and it will give you a list of events that are sponsored by your public libraries. That is very important because they host, sponsor, and keep you informed about a lot of popular events in the local area. So I won't give you that information because it all depends on what city that you're going to. There's going to be a major city nearby. Just type in Amarillo Public Library calendar events, and bam, you're going to get your list. However, there are a bunch of bookshops in certain areas that consistently host major events as well as a lot of local events. And with the local events, I can't really keep up to date with those. My list would be very, 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 very long. So if you're close to one of these major cities, there is a bookshop near you, a cafe, bookshop, or an organization that hosts a lot of book events. So feel free. I'm going to give you a list of those. I'm going to pop them up here real quick, but you're going to see them listed here as well. And you can just Google the name and the city, and it will bring up their website, and you can follow all the events that they have on their calendar. Now, there are more, but these are the major locations that I get a lot of my information from because they host a lot of major events. So for the month of May, some of the major events that are coming up is the Winsboro Festival of Books. Now, that's going to be in Winsboro, Texas. That's May 2nd through the 3rd. That's tomorrow night, Friday and Saturday. Then you got the Kalamai Book Festival in Lakeside. That's going to be Saturday. You have the Book Spring Festival in Austin on the May 3rd. That's also Saturday. And then you have the BIPOC Book Fest. Now that is the Black Indigenous People of Color Book Fest in Houston, Texas, this coming Saturday. Then you've got the Children's Book Week. Now the Children's Book Week is going to be very interesting. This is going to be something that is nationwide, and it happens twice a year. Anybody who's anybody, everybody honors this. This is your local bookstore. This is a public library. Any kind of book events that are going to, or book event locations are going to sponsor the Children's Book Week. Now that's May the 5th through the 11th. Then you have the O. Henry Pawn-Off. This is in Austin on May 10th. And then, of course, Dallas is Lit event in Dallas, Texas. And then Boldface Conference in Houston, Texas, May 19th through the 23rd. Dallas is Lit is May 15th through the 18th. May 15th through the 18th. And then the Boldface Conference in Houston is May 19th through the 23rd. But yes, the channel referrals, we're going to do that again like we did last time. This month we have 22. Last month we had 21 channels that I have subscribed. We're going to give an honorable mention to all of those. And for our channel spotlight is Megzi. So I recommend getting a chance to, if you're really into really good, really in-depth, really personal reflection type book reviews or reading impacts, reading experiences, that's Megzi. It's very, very easy to listen to, and she reads some controversial topics. She just finds it interesting to read those particular subject matters, and her explanation on how they made her feel, her perspective on it, really, really, really great. So we want to thank, and she will communicate with you as well. So that's wonderful too. So Megzi, we want to thank you and for being out here on BookTube, and we hope that you have a wonderful time. And with that, we move on to the monthly discussion topic. And this month is blending genres. Now, let's talk about the problem first. Blending genres. I have been doing a lot of book reviews and love my book reviews, right? Love doing book reviews. But a lot of times I get a lot of questions of asking, what genre is that? Or I want to know what genre that book is in. And I don't know. I have to go research it. Some of them I do know because, like I said, I do end up reading a lot of murder mystery and a lot of historical fiction. I can identify those by just reading it. I don't even have to go look them up. If I'm reading it and I can tell that's a historical fiction, I'll just say it's a historical fiction. I won't go classify it. I won't go look for it. I won't research it. If I'm reading a murder mystery, then I'll just call it a murder mystery. But what I've been finding out is a lot of books are listed in a multitude, the same title, listed in a multitude of genres. Now, why is that? It's kind of bothersome to me. And here's one of the reasons why. It probably doesn't affect, most folks probably are not bothered by this. I am, for some reason, just enough where it's like, why? Why? It's kind of, it's a little bit irritating. It's not really frustrating, it's irritating. How many people have gone out to Netflix and have gone through the homepage, and they've got all these lists of different categories of these movies. You've got romance, you've got thriller, you got horror, you got western, you got all these different, and you get a chance to scroll through and see what's playing. But you find out that it's the same 10 movies in each category, right? And on occasion, there might be 1 or 2, maybe 3 movies that are different in a list, but the majority of the same title is in each category. Why? Because I would rather you, with all the movies that you have listed on your server, I would rather be able to see a clear and present view of everything that's relative and not something that can fit into the category, right? So there's the problem. And how has it affected literature? Well, way back when, and I've always wondered this before, so I looked it up a little bit, and I wondered before, who determines the genre of literature, right? Is there like a committee? Is there like a specific someplace that says, this is literature, this is fiction, this is, right, mystery, this is crime drama, this is horror? Is there somebody that does that? And way back when, there really was. It was done by, first of all, it was done by kings and queens, royalty. It was done by people in some type of authority. It wasn't done by some kind of literary committee. It wasn't done by some kind of, it was done by people of authority in government. And then Aristotle popped up, and Aristotle, who was deemed literary genius, would begin to influence those people in authority as to where we're going to, that's not literature. That's not literature, right? Oh, that is literature. We don't have that to this day. Who does that? Who regulates that? So as me as an author, I can actually have a book released and say, hey, look, this is a mystery story that has some thrilling events, right? It's about murder, right? And that's kind of scary. So I've just released a book that fits into 4 different categories because I said that that's what it was. But who can come through and simply say, wait a minute, no, that is a murder mystery. Now, it does have some thrill in it. It does have a little bit of horror and suspense in it, but it is a thriller, right? Who does that? And how did it all come about? So I think there's 2 things involved with this, but I think it stems from inclusion theory. One of the things, and our whole society has been flooded with inclusion theory, right? And what is inclusion theory? Inclusion theory has bled into and is applied in nearly every area of life, even in everyday society, right? It is the process of improving the terms on which individuals and groups take part, improving the ability, opportunity, and dignity of those disadvantaged on the basis of their identity and or context. And honestly, this was the practice of including the education system launched this huge program and actually gave inclusion theory a face. And it soon became the practice of including and accommodating people who often face discrimination and exclusion due to race, gender, ability, sexuality, or identity, right? And identity, right? It was birthed as a campaign platform of the education system expressing a commitment to educate every child. This launched the whole Leave No Child Behind, which was something that we stemmed from anyway through combat, Leave No Soldier Behind. But there were a lot of individuals who weren't including in certain benefits of the educational system. So they launched this campaign called, right, Leave No Child Behind, but it was based off inclusion theory. Now, the benefits of inclusion theory is that we are now purposely trying to find a way to include those people, those things, right, that are built by people, created by people, in everything, in every walks of life, so they don't feel at a disadvantage, so they don't miss out on the benefits of life. But inclusion theory has soaked in to pretty much everything. Now, the benefit of inclusion theory, where literature is concerned, is, and I think this is one of the reasons why it is so commonly rampant now, where you can't tell what book, what category a book is in. And I believe that there are differences, and we'll talk about that, the types of genres. What is a genre? We'll talk about that later. But this is a way of being able to get my book out to the widest range of consumers. Instead of appealing to the specific group of people that's included in my, as an interest group in my title, my type of writing style, the story that I've written, right? I read a historical fiction, and for me personally, I'm fine with just titling it a historical fiction. Bam, done. But it might not reach certain people. So if I'm able to plaster my poster, my bulletin, my brochure for this book on different bulletins, then I want to write it in such a way where I can actually include it over here, here, and stretch it out as far as possible so that it reaches everybody. But I think that's almost unnecessary. There aren't a shortage of readers, I don't believe. As a matter of fact, I think it's becoming more and more popular to read. And because of that, then your book is going to reach your audience. Just advertise it as such. But you are advertising it as one or the other. And so therefore, it kind of makes me feel a little beside myself because I want to be able to say, you know, this is this is a murder mystery. This is a murder mystery. That's it. Just go there. Stop. Just don't go any further. Tell me what you think about that. And then later on, we'll come back and discuss the different categories, the different genres. Because as I'm looking for it, I literally, and I can't even begin to talk about the number of genres. I came across over 30 different genres. Who can keep up with that? Who can keep up with that? Let me know your take. I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I really do. And bear with me with the length of the video. But as we move into the month, we will follow up on most of these discussion topics. We will follow up on our reading in progress. And we will follow up on our Bookish Texas events. Stay tuned for more. And until then, you guys always remember, just keep reading.